Hey everyone, welcome back to Adobe Live here on Behance. I am joined with the lovely Becca Clason. Hello Becca, welcome to the live stream.
Happy to be here.
Yay, happy to have you here. Yeah, let's really get it going. Okay, stop. This is our show. We are focusing on lettering this week, and Becca, you are a lettering artist and stop motion designer.
Yep.
Was that it?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. So that means a lot of things, but behind us you can see some of your amazing work. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So we are focusing on lettering, like I said, and we do have a contest going on this week. If you are just tuning in, I'll tell you a little bit about that, and we also have a giveaway. So we'll be doing a giveaway in about an hour. Contest, you can participate for about an hour and a half, and then we'll have Becca choose a winner. The contest is all you have to do is create a letter, either in Photoshop or Illustrator CC. It could be one letter, multiple letters on a white background. Submit those to us, and we'll have Becca pick a winner. Laura says, love stop motion. Candy letters. So maybe we can hop over to my screen and show some of your work, and you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
Do you want me to open a specific project?
All
All of them are great.
Just choose one.
Okay, let's do one with motion. Let's just do this one. It's the first one. Boom. So this is from your Instagram. I see.
Yep. I just started embedding stuff from Vimeo, but a lot of my older ones are embedded from Instagram. So this was a project I worked on with the agency 72 and Sunny in LA, and I created it for Starbucks, and I combined using like food lettering with chalk lettering and made a stop motion video out of it.
Yeah.
So
this is all real. Like this actually happened. Cool. And you're going to show us a little bit of that today. We will not always be behind this desk. We're actually going to venture into wild, wild west of the studio, and you're going to come with us, chat. So how did you get started as a hand lettering artist?
So I started out in advertising. After college, I worked at an advertising agency in New York City for about a year, and then I decided I wanted to focus on graphic design. So I got a graphic design job back in Salt Lake City. Loved typography and all of that. And during that time, I think I came across hand lettering in like 2010 or something like that.
Yeah.
And really loved it and wanted to pursue it and wanted to become good at it. So I did a lot of it in my free time at night. Still had a full-time job. I had a full-time job until 2015. So during that whole time, I was just doing lettering on the side, practicing, doing workshops, trying to get better, doing some freelance projects. And in 2014, I did my first venture into lettering made out of stuff. Ooh. So it kind of took off from there. I loved doing it and wanted to keep trying new materials and new things. And then I started getting client projects from that. And so it's just kind of gone from there. One project I got, I keep spinning in my chair.
I know, there's like a lot of freedom happening.
One project I got, they wanted me to do it with stop motion, and I didn't have very much stop motion experience. I practiced like one thing ever. And so they said, hey, by the way, last minute, like, can you do this stop motion rather than a still? And I was like, yes.
Totally. I can do that. The life of an artist.
And that kind of changed my trajectory because I really liked that. And my, I guess, routine and how I do it has changed a lot. It's gotten more streamlined. It was kind of like hack job back at the beginning. But yeah, I love doing stop motion, love doing lettering, so I combine both.
Awesome. That's crazy that you jumped into these things kind of haphazardly, and then you're like, wait, this is what I wanted to do my whole life. Like, this is perfect. And it seems like it's not all lettering, like some just design assets.
Yeah, I do. A few of my stop motion things don't have any lettering in them, and it's fun to experiment with that as well.
Nice.
Really Usually I do lettering, but I enjoy doing some other stuff as well.
Yeah, sprinkle it in there. So before we venture over to the studio where we're actually going to be, you're going to be working on some of this physical play stuff, let's look at the work that you all submitted last segment that we didn't get to look at. So this is by Tyrone, and like I said, the competition is to create a letter or a set of letters on a white background using Photoshop or Illustrator CC. And at the end of the stream, Becca will pick a winner.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so we got an X from Tyrone. Nice. And we're going to go kind of quickly through these, unfortunately, because we do need to get over into Wonderland over there. Here's a cool B by Miriam. Nice job.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing, Caroline? I see you did this one. Nice job. Ooh, there's lots of life in this. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like LaCroix, like cans. I don't know why I see that. Kind of cool.
Fractured R.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, kind of fractured and refracted. Nice. Nice, Merrick.
That's cool.
B is for Bowman's assistant. So first you did A is for acupuncture, I saw. Nice.
Tomorrow he'll do C.
Yeah, maybe today even. He's been kind of flying through them. This is cool. It's kind of like Mario. Like, looks like that kind of aesthetic. Nice job, Chris. So we've got an X. Very elegant. Nice job. Whoa. Wild. I like that you did an ampersand. Not an actual letter, although it's not on a white background, which makes it a little difficult, but nice job, Eduardo.
Why does it have to be on a white background?
It's a secret.
Oh. Can't wait to find out.
It's part of our master plan. This is by Shelly. Let's see. It's a nice R. Kind of fantastical. Nice job. I'm wondering, chat, how many of you have ever done hand lettering before? Some of these seem pretty strong. Like you are pretty comfortable with it. This is really cute. By Brianna. Nice. Kat says, yes, Becca.
Hi, Kat. She's my agent.
Oh, awesome. How you doing, Kat? We've been talking about like agents and agencies and the pros of them, so maybe we can chat about that a little more later. This is by Chandler.
That's fun.
Yeah, really cool C.
Yeah, and Jill. Jill and I are on the same roster.
Oh, nice. Oh, Laura has never done hand lettering. Nice. This is a really cool G, kind of 3D. Haven't seen anything like that yet. Ooh. Kind of like crystally. Yeah. Like they should have some jewel tones thrown in there. Nice job, Simon. Ooh. It's really nice. Love that color scheme.
John needs an agent.
Ooh, Yashai. Cool. Yashai, nice submission. Thanks for always being here. We appreciate it. Pretty name, too. Very organic O. Yeah, no problem, Simon. Ooh, here's another one. Don't act like everything is gravy when it's grits. I like that. Nice. I always say everything's gravy. Everything's gravy, baby. Nice colors. This is by Daniel. Oh, what is this? An S, maybe, for smoke?
I guess that would make sense conceptually. Yeah. Like, that's right there.
Nice. So the readability is a little difficult, but it's really cool idea behind it. Nice job, Daniel. Ooh, process. Yes. Cool, Jasmine. You even have the date in there to prove, like, yes, I did this today. I like your final. Really nice texture. Nice job, Jasmine. Ooh, what is this called? Like a hashtag, I guess.
There should be another name, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pound?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Nice. So good job, Joey. You are always submitting really cool designs. Soren, nice. Really pretty, kind of light and airy design. Would be a cool tattoo. A lot of these would be cool tattoos. It's by Zhao Mara, is that right? Cool, W.
Watery W.
Yeah, water droplets. Nice illustrative piece. And an S.
Oh, I guess I can look there and not on your screen.
Yeah, right. Totally. Cool, so those are all the submissions we have for right now. We'll kind of curate the list and look at new ones as they come in. But for now, maybe we can move over to the workspace and you can kind of talk about what you're going to do today.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Freeze frame. Just kidding. Let's actually go.
Where should I be looking?
I believe over here.
Okay. Yeah. So we have a little setup here with the table. So we have some lights set up, camera mounted overhead, camera attached to the laptop so we can see what's happening on the table. We need to adjust the lighting a little bit because we have a lot of light sources coming in here. But first, I'm going to explain a little bit about what I'm going to do. So I have created a sketch, and I don't know, it's probably, can we see it? Okay.
Perfect.
So yeah, so here's my sketch, and I've opened it up in Illustrator. I'm going to be making the word play and some of these flourishes out of candy. And then I have some vectorized words underneath the word play that I'm going to be adding in at the end. So I'm going to create the word play out of candy on this table and take a bunch of photos of me moving it after I've already created the lettering. So it will, when it plays, it will become a stop motion video because I've done shot by shot, frame by frame, moving it so that it will appear like all of the candy is moving or appearing or writing on to create the word play. And I'll be importing that in After Effects, and then I'll be importing my vectorized lettering, and then I'll animate that on at the end, and that will create the whole final scene. So it's a bit of a process. We'll be doing it throughout the 3 days. So today I'm going to start laying out the candy in the lettering, and whether or not I get that finished today, then I will start doing the photography and moving the pieces to create the stop motion video.
Gotcha. So when you're laying it out, you're not worrying about placing it and taking a picture. That comes afterwards.
Typically, now and then I have to shoot forward. It depends on how the scene is flowing. If it's like a continuous scene moving into something else, then I usually have to shoot it forwards. Right. But for something like this where it's just like the lettering appears and then something happens, I have like an easier end and a beginning. So I usually create the lettering first because I want to get everything just right. I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I may or may not have enough time this week to be a perfectionist. We'll see.
It'll be a good practice,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Practice in letting go a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I can reverse the footage so that it looks like it's creating.
Right.
So that's usually, it's magic. Magic with candy.
Magic with candy, yes. Speaking of candy.
Okay, so I have the sketch right here, and I use the program Dragonframe when I shoot my stuff. So I'll be using, I've used Illustrator to create my vector letters for later. I'll show you guys later this week what that will be. And I will be creating the video in After Effects. But for now I use the program Dragonframe to shoot my stop motion, and that is helpful for me because I can toggle between frames. I can onion skin previous frames to see if I accidentally bump something or move something. I can compare it to what it was before if I need to fix it back to what it was. I can play through and loop through what I've shot so far. And I can also take photos remotely through my computer with that program. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that, so I'm excited to see how it
works. It's a good stop motion program.
Yeah, great. Chat, have you ever heard, what's it called, Dragonframe?
Dragonframe.
Dragonframe. Chat, know anything about it? Or what would you use for stop motion? Let us know.
What do you guys use?
I just use my iPhone.
So, okay, so I'm in Dragonframe here. Let's see, I'm gonna make this a little larger. So I have my sketch that I showed you guys, the word play, and I'm gonna go into File, Import, File, Load, Lineup Image, and I can choose my sketch, open it up here, and it pulls it up in Dragonframe. I can change the opacity of it so that I can make it just a really light opacity, and then my camera's live right now, so I'll be placing the things here, so this this overlay can help me bring my sketch to life. So it kind of streamlines my process a little bit, so I'm not spending quite as much time placing things. I've spent a lot of time creating my sketch and my design, and I'm trying to like match that design on paper here. So we're gonna get started with that, I guess. But first we need to figure out lighting. So where are the light switches? We have our major light source here, which is a 4-bank Kino Flow light. And we're gonna turn off a few lights in the studio.
Ooh, spooky.
See how things look. I need to put something here to see what here's a bunch of my candy. I'll see how the shadows are looking here.
So do you want more shadows or less shadows?
I just don't want multiple light source shadows.
Makes sense.
So, and I can see just putting that on that it's really out of focus. I haven't played with the height of the camera, finalized that, or played with the focus yet. So that's part of my setup, is figuring that out. So first, when I'm doing this kind of thing, I need to make sure that the materials I'm using will fit within the frame that I have. So candy's pretty small, and that's one reason I chose it for this project, just because I can make sure that everything will fit. So I usually like set a few things out just to make sure that I can get the thinnest weight of the lettering in there, as well as the thickest, and that I'm not trying to fit, like, for example, if I were lettering out of apples, this big of space wouldn't work because I can't make things like small enough.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that my vantage point from the camera is the best possible. And I forgot to check my levels. I have a level app on my phone that I just want to make sure my camera's level so that the picture won't end up being skewed or anything like that. So, and it's a little off. Could you hold this here and I'll bump up the stand?
Hold that.
So we're gonna adjust this C stand right here. Oh, it's close. Oh, wrong way. Does that look level?
That
Okay,
looks good.
I guess it's level.
Perfect.
Okay, so now I'm gonna tighten the C stand. We're all level.
There you are.
That's good.
I'm glad I'm here. I'm actually good for something.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna focus it. So I have these on here. I can click.
Oh no.
It's okay. Lost
Wayward
Skittle.
Skittle.
Okay. So I'll double click on the focus part, which brings it up a little bit larger, and then I can play with the focus of the camera. So I'll hold my computer a little closer just to make sure. Oops. That everything's in focus.
Nice. And what kind of camera do you like to use?
I typically use a Canon 5DSR, which takes really large photos.
Mm-hmm.
It can take sorry.
That's okay. A lot going on.
Like the same size as some medium format cameras,
Mm-hmm.
but it still works with my Dragonframe program. And so like the photos I take with that camera are like 50, 60 megabytes.
Ah.
But this, just because I was traveling, I brought a cheaper camera just in case. It's a it's a Canon 7D.
Gotcha. Yeah, someone was asking in chat, I think it was Daniel, like how much is your production setup?
How much does it cost?
Yeah. It could be not too heavy, but it could
Yeah,
be
I
a lot.
would have to go add things up. I don't know just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But stuff like this can be done for cheaper. Like you can buy, you know, smaller softbox lights, cheaper camera. Some people do stop motions with their phones even. Just depends. This is the way that I've come to like to do it, and maybe that will change going forward, but for now it works for me. So yeah, I am seeing, let's try turning these off. These lights up here, can we turn these off? I'm seeing double shadows. So I'm seeing shadows on the top of the candy and below, and that's not what I want. So, trying to figure it out.
Cool.
I have my setup all at my studio, all, I know how it works there. So now we're trying to figure out this new way. I haven't set up a studio outside of my studio before, so it's a fun exercise.
Right, and that way everyone in chat can kind of see how this goes.
Yeah.
That looks better.
Well, you missed earlier when Michael and I were trying to fit the pole on these C-stands.
Yeah, this is
but we got it going.
And someone else in chat was asking, similar to the setup, how different does your setup or this setup look than the first 1 or 2 times you ever did this kind of stuff?
So the first time, that project that I was talking about earlier where they were like, can you do this in stop motion? So at that point, I was using a tripod. And a poster board was my background, my surface.
Right.
And I was on the floor, so I was crouched on the floor, huddled underneath my tripod, trying to place everything with tweezers.
Oh my gosh! And what was it? What were you making out of?
Different things. Part of it was sprinkles. Part of it, a different one of that campaign was lentils and garbanzo beans and stuff.
Gotcha.
So that was pretty risky because with stop motion, if you bump the tripod at all, it will change what the camera's seeing. When you play it back as a video, it won't look streamlined or the same.
Right, because you can make stop motion look like it's an actual video, it's not stop motion. But sometimes you can tell.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I'm gonna try to angle the light source down a little bit because the shadows are looking a little harsh. Pardon? Yeah, you can maybe just pull it away a little bit, pull it farther away from the table.
How are they looking?
Not as hard, but a little long. Now you can angle it down a little towards the table.
This is really cool because you didn't start as a director of photography, so you had to learn all of this stuff.
Yeah, and
as you went.
My husband and I work together, and he has a film background, and so he understands all the lighting and the camera a lot better than I do, and so he has really helped so much along the way. We should get this light, and this is how we can set it up, and so anything I've learned in how to do that is from his knowledge.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Clason.
Yeah, Mr. Clason.
So how are those shadows looking?
I wish I had some supplementary lights right here, but we couldn't find those lights.
Will it work?
So, I mean, we can always, I'll be laying out for a while.
Cool.
And so maybe tomorrow we'll start shooting. Maybe tomorrow we could have lights. I don't know. If not, we can lighten it in After Effects and I can show some masking and lighting just the bottom portion and we can make it work.
Awesome.
So now comes the fun part.
Woo!
I got this Halloween bowl.
I can't believe we found those in the studio. It's perfect.
All of this candy. So I'm probably not going to use all of it, but I bought a bunch of different varieties because I want variety of color, variety of shapes, and I just want to have options. So there have been a bunch of times where I've been working on projects and I don't have enough of a certain type of something, have to go to the store again. So better to have everything you need. So I'm going to dump a bunch of candy in the bowl. Do you want to help?
Yes, I'd love to. If I get to sneak some of it.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Go for it. Yeah, when I'm probably not going to today because you're all watching me, but usually I snack on my stuff because I can't help it.
So what about M&Ms? Are you worried that they're gonna melt?
It's not gonna be too hot in here.
Yeah.
So it should be fine.
Wow. And do you care what goes in here, or can it be any candy?
Just any. I'm gonna be doing a variety of colors and shapes, so I'm going to be kind of like piecing things in, filling the small holes with like little nerds and things like that.
I love the sound. Sound of much candy. Ooh.
Just dumping it all in.
Chad, what is your favorite candy? Maybe we have it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there were so many different kinds of Skittles. There's like 4 different kinds.
Okay, and I'm dumping it in a bowl rather than just picking it out of the package because I want to be able to see what I have here so I can like put colors next to each other that weren't, you know, so I can mix things up and see what I'm looking at.
Ooh, Tic Tacs. Chat's loving it.
Are they?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
Saying this is so fun. This is the best stream ever.
Sorry you guys can't all come share our candy.
It smells delicious.
So I chose candies that weren't super round so that, because I tried using gobstoppers in a candy thing I did in the past and they all kind of like rolled off.
Oh,
so
smart.
Things that will like stay still are easier to work with.
Ooh.
Runts are fun because they have like the bananas, which adds a fun shape. I know.
Yeah.
They don't taste great, but they look good on these designs.
My dad loves the bananas. He's a crazy man. We've got like an audience watching us pour candy.
Almost done. We can get started in a sec. I can always add to this.
No, yeah.
After.
Right,
Add some jelly beans. Okay. You can check through here, see if there's anything else we should add.
Oh, huge. That sounds good and plenties for good measure. Good and fruity.
Dots. I gotta add my dots too.
Ooh. Not a dot fan. Are you like, I feel like that's one of those candies that either you love or you hate.
I don't like to eat them, but
But they're
for
like
this,
probably
they'll be good.
Yeah. Boom. Somebody was saying I look very organized with my candy bag.
Mine was like everywhere. I'm a mess.
They're like, Kathleen must be very organized. And I'm like, you don't know me at all. Thank you.
And I just rubbed my fingernail on the paper and it took some purple onto the paper. So it's okay. Sometimes stuff like that happens. That's why I can mask something in After Effects.
Yeah. Thank you, Adobe.
Pretend that didn't happen.
Jessica says, the stream is making me hungry now.
Yes, welcome to my life.
Yeah, I bet. Unless you're using like old crab or something.
Ew.
Like, yeah, ooh, or fish.
I've had to work with shrimp before. That was a little rough.
Fresh.
Yeah. Okay, so just gonna get started. Camera's still live. I have it set to like pause every few minutes, but it's still live. Okay, so now I just, when I'm first starting, just kind of like place things randomly to try to fit like within my overlay lines.
Okay.
And I have some highlights built in here to my lettering sketch.
Right.
And I'm either gonna leave those spots blank and white, but the shadows may cover that up. So maybe I'll choose to do like all yellows, or if there's white candy in here, maybe I'll do all white candy so it will look like a juicy highlight.
Ooh, super juicy. That's been the adjective today, actually.
Has it?
It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
I
Adobe
didn't even
Sketch
know.
is totally juicy.
Didn't even know.
This is like, I think, a great way to introduce people to hand lettering.
Yeah.
It's like, all it takes is some candy.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. We did a hand lettering class when I was in college with something similar to this, like with tactile objects. And I used like fishing tools.
Nice.
So it was good, but it was like kind of scary because there was hooks everywhere. And like
Sounds dangerous.
vibrators. Yeah.
So I'm going to not use the things that are super light in color, like this kind of off-white gummy bear, because it'll look pretty, like way too white under the lights. It looks kind of dark now, but it'll be lightened up afterwards in post-production.
Cool.
So.
Are there colors that work especially well?
Well, I chose to do candy for this live demo just because everyone loves candy.
True.
And everyone loves like rainbow colored things. It's like a happy thing. So thought it would be fun. Do we have more blue things in there? I feel like I'm lacking a little bit in blue.
All right. Like bright blue or like
any blue.
Okay. Let's see.
So I guess usually I start on like a specific letter, but I'm kind of trying to be a little faster today, so I'm just putting stuff everywhere.
Okay, we're gonna try some fruit snacks. I know there's gonna be purple. I don't know about blue. Oh yeah, I see some blue. You want them in your bowl?
Sure.
Trick or treat. Blue, guys.
Okay. So then it's typically just like several hours of this, honestly. Like, usually it takes me like 4 to 6 hours to lay something out. Sometimes a little less, sometimes more. But I'm just gonna try to be speedy today so I don't bore you all to death.
Cool. So not about perfection.
Yeah.
Getting the idea across. I know, chat, you'll be very patient and supportive. You always are.
We can talk during it. You guys can ask me questions.
Yeah, please do ask questions. She is literally here, hostage, playing with candy. So this is your chance. Chat, please ask Becca whatever you'd like. I already like how this smells. I could sit here for hours.
It's like a nice aroma of sugar and rainbows.
I feel like I don't even need to eat it because I'm just kind of inhaling it. Hello from Moscow. Hello. Yes, we love to know where you all are from, chat. So please let us know. We are currently in Candy Mountain, San Francisco. Such a place.
My husband lived in Russia for 2 years.
Oh, really? Awesome. Have you ever lived abroad?
I lived in Beijing for a month.
Cool.
And I lived in Milan for a month.
Cool. What? Any reason?
I was studying Mandarin one summer in Beijing. And in Milan, it was my husband's work. Well, I mean, it was both of our works, but he was filming there and I was kind of working remotely.
Oh, isn't that the best? Let's see, we've got Bogota, Ukraine, Brazil, Australia, Massachusetts, Columbia, Arkansas, all over the place.
Yeah.
Hello from Chinese. Hello. Tiana says that her OCD would make her need to separate all the candy in shape and size and color.
It's more fun this way, making it random.
Yeah.
But I understand.
Definitely. I think this is how I would work. I'd just be like, oh, there you go. I think I would like to put out glue in the shape of the letters and then just throw candy at it.
Yeah, I did that once. I've used glue once. Yeah? Usually I don't use any adhesive. Well, I did a ribbon lettering live on Instagram in December. And for I can't talk. Ribbon lettering, I was using Scotch tape rolled up to adhere. But usually I don't adhere. That was just to keep the ribbon in place because otherwise it just flattens out.
Unfurl.
But I did do a project with glue and sand last year. So I put down some Elmer's glue in the shape of the sketch I'd created. I did my I put glue on for the letters that I was creating, and then I put sand on top of it, covering the whole thing.
Right.
And then I brushed it all off so that it revealed underneath the lettering. So that was a fun, different thing.
Oh, Marco, we can't forget Portugal. No, not at all. Hello, Portugal.
Hello, Portugal.
How's it going? Tallahassee? Definitely. I bet there's a lot of problems that you have to solve with this kind of thing. You are faced with a different material every time. There's no one way to do it.
It's true. What were you going to ask?
I was going to say, do you think ribbon was your most difficult thing? Or
no.
What has been especially squirrely?
What has been squirrely? Let's see.
Squirrels.
Squirrels. I do not want to letter with squirrels.
No.
Let's see, I can't think off the top of my head what it was. I could look back at my work.
Yeah.
Do you want to pull up my work?
Yeah, sure.
I'll tell you which ones were hard.
I'll quiz you. BeccaClason.com. Feel free to follow Becca on social media of all types, probably.
Yeah, on Instagram, I'm Becca Clason.
Let's see, food typography. You're very easy to find. All right, we've got like strawberries, noodles.
Oh, so things that are very fine, like, okay, so I did stuff with pumpkin pie spices last year, but I posted it recently, and that was a little more easy to work with than something like sugar or salt, because sugar and salt, they look cool when you create lettering out of them, but they're hard to manipulate because they kind of pop, because they're like if you scoot them, they'll kind of like flick off.
I see. I wonder if that has to do with like the crystalline nature of it. Interesting.
Let's see what else. I have worked on something with like tiny plastic beads. That one wasn't necessarily difficult to work with, but it was like I was using tweezers to like put every little thing on there. So that was really time consuming.
Yeah.
And I always think that it's going to take less time than it does, or like, oh, I'm almost done with the word, but then I can spend like 3 hours just like adjusting it or, making it better, adding like little pieces to make the lines seem like more smooth and less rough. And I think that's one thing with lettering out of like physical materials, is that you can get a basic like lettering down that's legible and looks nice, but it looks even nicer if you take the time to make the lines like a little more clean. And that's where I spend a lot of my time, is in the like finessing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would make sense. And figuring out how these shapes work, like as you work more and more with them, I'm sure there are things that you learn.
Yeah, I mean, I've done stuff with candy several times before, so it was coming into this, it was like, okay, I know how to work with that one. That one's like, it won't melt, it won't change color over time.
Yeah.
Like if you were to use like a fresh vegetable or sliced apples or
totally,
or baby carrots or something like that. Baby carrots turn white and dry out. Yeah. And
I guess that makes
like
sense.
apples turn brown and that sort of thing. Or I did some lettering out of yogurt last year, and that held up actually like surprisingly well.
Oh, cool.
But over time it kind of like develops a film over it.
Milk film.
But yeah,
that makes sense.
Lately I've been doing lettering out of non-food objects, which has been fun. Like we made lettering out of concrete. Ooh. And I really want to do some lettering out of shoes, so I'm trying to like brainstorm some of that. I'm going to be doing lettering out of, I did the ribbons recently, and I have an upcoming project of lettering out of some other objects, which will be fun. So it's fun to play with food, and it's fun to play with other objects, and just I like to make stuff out of everything. So
right, you see inspiration everywhere.
Yeah. How many of you guys, you chatters on there, have tried doing lettering out of food or other objects?
Yeah. Let us know. And while they're answering, because there is a little bit of a delay, Jessica Molina is wondering, how do you pitch your concepts to clients? Like, do you use a storyboard or sketches? Or do you go straight to this?
Well, it's usually like the clients typically come to me, but there are sometimes when I like really want to work with someone, I might like reach out, send a message online or something like that. And when they come to me, they often have like an idea in mind, not necessarily what the materials are, but sometimes that is already determined, you know, so it all just depends. But when we have like a concept or like a brief at least, and like the project is signed off on, then I will create sketches and create sort of a pre-production deck, because my stuff, it's like, I think you guys mentioned in the last session that you kind of have to let clients know like what can be changed, you know, and for me that's important. I have to let clients know what can be changed ahead of time, because it's not as easy to change colors and things like that. Like if they wanted a different background or the background ended up not looking super great, it's like I would have to redo the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. Have to build in like stop saves for you into your contract.
So I create a pre-production deck saying like, here's my sketch, this is what it's going to look like, and these are the materials I'm going to use, this is the background I'm going to use, so that they don't have any surprises and know what to expect.
Right.
And I think that's really appreciated and helpful.
Yeah, and do you find that clients are usually pretty understanding of that and they're willing to give you the info that you need?
Yeah, totally. Cool. And there hasn't really ever been an instance when I've created that much information ahead of time where they've said, oh, like we have to redo all of this, you know? So it's worked out pretty well.
Good. A lot of people are saying what they've made lettering out of. Someone used cardboard, mud, spaghetti, icing.
I've tried spaghetti before, and I think I was trying to do letters like too small because the spaghetti's slippery, you know, so it all just like went flat.
Ooh.
It didn't like stay in its same letter.
Right.
So I ended up doing it out of dry spaghetti instead.
Oh, smart. There you go. Somebody's wondering if you've ever eaten so much of your supply that you had to go out and get more because you couldn't finish.
I think yes.
Yeah,
she's honest. I have done that. Or I'm like, oh, I have enough of this. Like, I don't need this many, so I'll eat this one. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, I really could have used that other one. I shouldn't have eaten it.
Darn it, Becca.
Yeah, I know.
Darn it, me. Yeah, Munir says I tried making letters with chocolate, but ended up eating all of the chocolates.
So you didn't finish it?
No, Munir.
Bummer. Do it again. It's so fun. I love that I get to do this for my job.
Right.
Playing with food.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for anyone who's like, I'm passionate about this thing, but I don't know how to make it my job? Doing it at night when you have time, or?
Yeah, making time for it is huge, especially like if you have a full-time job. When I was wanting to get into this, like commercially, I was making time like almost every day to create something. Most of the time it was lettering out of something physical, but sometimes it was like, you know, a sketch or whatever. But like every day I was trying to post some sort of lettering creative thing on Instagram to try to like get more exposure, get noticed, and I also was trying to make it brand friendly, I guess. Make it as commercial as possible. Like if there's something here, maybe I include a wrapper at the end, or like a package that like makes it look like, oh, I could swap out this stuff and then this could work for my brand, you know? And so I was trying to make it commercial, trying to make it appeal to potential clients. And eventually it started happening. So whether it's this type of thing or whether it's something else, I just think whatever you post, not that every single thing you post has to, but keep in mind that there are potential clients watching you, and if you show them that you create things for brands and they're interesting and cool, like they'll think of you, you know?
Right.
And you can also reach out to them as well. Like if there's a brand you like, message them on Instagram. Like Instagram makes it so easy to get in touch with brands or people. Need some more candy out here.
Ooh. Ah. Throw it
at the end.
Why not? Sorry, Adobe Live team. Pick it up off the floor. It's gonna be a mouse problem.
But there have been a few projects that I have worked on that happened because I reached out to someone on Instagram.
Right. How did that exchange go? Were you like, hey, I want to work for you? And they were like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just introduced myself like, hey, I'm a lettering artist and I do this, like, check out my work and here's my email. Or like, you can make it not put it on them and say, is there an email address for, you know, someone I can reach out to talk more about this with? And it doesn't always work, but it's worked out a few times that way. And if it doesn't work out that one time, maybe you'll make a contact that might help you down the road or be good for something that you need.
Totally. Jessica says, I could watch this part of the process all day. That's awesome. And Julia Brubaker wants to know.
Oh, that's my cousin.
Oh, hey, Julia. So Ben and Drew Brubaker would like to know how much candy you snack on while cooking. This is a popular question.
I know. Everyone loves this question.
Yeah.
Today, none. I'm not snacking on any today.
I mean, you could have a little
Maybe.
bit. Maybe. I'm not really, like, craving
Do you want any?
I don't know.
I got some gummy bears,
What do
some
you got?
fruit snacks. Do you want some?
Got it all. It's like a after
Jelly
trick or treat
beans.
where you're, like, trading all your candies.
But typically I, like, inadvertently eat something, not thinking about
Tonight
it.
you're just like, boop.
Or maybe thinking about it. But
Yeah.
sometimes it just happens because it's, like, in front of you and then you're like, wait, why did I eat that?
This is my livelihood. I'm eating it. No. Bill wants to know which part is the most challenging and why. Big question, Bill.
Well, the most challenging, it all depends on the project. Like sometimes the post-production ends up being really tough, like depending on like if there are particular edits or how long, if you need to do masking or time remapping or adding in certain other elements. Like I'm going to be adding in some digital lettering animation to this one, so that will take like more time than it otherwise would have, and it just depends on how the video needs to end up. Like that can take a long time, the post-production, or if I have to like Photoshop any frames that like were messed up and then add those back into the video. Sometimes that happens. But sometimes the lettering, like this lettering layout part itself is the most challenging depending on the material. I was working on a project last summer where I had to create lettering out of lentils. And I had tweezers and I was like bent over that like placing tweezers, and it took like a really long time. It was like really precise and they were really small. So that was really difficult because my back really hurt and I was like, okay, 2 letters left. Like I can make it.
Thousands of lentils left.
Yeah. So in that case, the layout itself was the hardest part. Sometimes the sketch is the hardest part because in a way that's the most important part.
Yeah.
Because without the layout in mind or the sketch, like things could totally backfire or not end up looking how I want it, or just, I don't know, not be what I planned. So I have to be like careful about the prep and the planning process and make sure like, okay, we're ready to move into this, the physical layout portion. We have everything we need.
Yeah. Not rushing into it.
Yeah.
Daniel wants to know, have you ever had the table bumped and start over or something like major get messed up?
One time I was creating, this was not the table, although the table's probably been, I think I bumped the table before, and then in post-production we have to like adjust the frames to like, bump it down or like do this like little dance of trying to like line up everything again, which can take forever. So it's optimal if bumping does not happen.
True.
But I was creating some lettering out of fried rice on a plate. And it was really late at night, and I think I shared this story on my Instagram live that I did last month, but it's really late. I had to finish the project, like send it the next day, so I had to finish laying it out and shoot it that night. and I'd gotten the lettering like all done on the plate, and it was like, I don't know, hard to get the rice to stay because it kept wanting to like move after I placed it.
Right.
And then I bumped the plate and everything just, all the lettering was gone.
Oh no.
So I like sat there and cried.
Had a good
literally
cry
for like 15 minutes, and it was like 1 a.m, and I'm like,
poor soul.
well, I guess I just have to start again.
Yeah,
so
not sleeping tonight.
I got it done, but it was rough.
Man, yeah, chat, do you have any stories like that? Please let us know. I was actually scared that I've never like been in this kind of set before, so I'm like, I'm gonna bump this.
Well, we do have sandbags on the sides of the C-stands holding the camera,
perfect.
so hopefully things all stay still.
Yeah, the little details. That's smart. Very smart. So someone was wondering why you don't like put down a bunch of candy and kind of mold it with your hands. Is it like the color composition that you like to have more control over?
I like to have more control over it. I've tried doing that before, and I just prefer it this way. It's probably just a preference. I think you can do it that way as well, but it's like I have an orange one in my hand, and so I want to place it next to something that's like not orange.
Right.
So if I had a bunch of stuff, moving it away, it seems like it would take just as much work, I guess, to like pull out the like negative spaces of it. I don't know. Yeah. Or mold it in, but it's probably just my preference.
Yeah. Seriously, Adobe Live team, great questions, everybody. I agree. And I want to let you know, chat, that we do have our giveaway coming up in about 10 minutes.
Ooh, what are we giving away?
Very excited. We are giving away 3 beautiful posters. They're above us right now on screen. So the cool thing about these posters is, one, they're printed on really nice paper. They're 11 by 17, so really nice, but they're also created here live on stream by different artists.
Is that Robzilla?
Yeah, we got Robzilla's Mr. T over here. We got Jing Wei's Pool Party in the middle, and Christine Heron's over here, her travel tags. So they were all created live on stream with help from you in chat giving ideas. We love the kind of interchange back and forth between you guys, so thanks for being here. This is our little way to say thank you. So all you have to do is be active in the chat. We would love to hear those kind of stories about when you totally mess up a project and have to start over. Like, let's get those stories out. Let's cleanse our souls a little bit, have a good laugh and cry over them. But just be active in chat, share those stories, and you could be the winner. Okay, let's see. This isn't really an art story, but
Tell us.
Shelly, when they were about 6 years old, they stuck their finger into their brother's pie. He came to show my mom and then tipped the pie too far, and the pie fell out onto the floor, so then nobody won.
Oh no.
Darn, Shelly. Those things really teach us something, right? And he had to create that pie really late at night, so that was like a really important pie that you ruined, Shelly.
Food disasters.
Yes, the worst kind. Laura wants to know, do you have a remote for the camera, or do you take the photo in Dragonframe?
So that's funny you ask that, because I do have a remote, but I forgot it. Did not bring it on my trip, but it's currently being overnighted to me. So if I still have stuff to shoot tomorrow, which I probably will, then I'll have it for then. But
we have the 2 lights tomorrow.
Pardon?
Oh, we'll have the 2 lights tomorrow too.
Oh, great.
Everything will be better tomorrow.
Yeah. So, but I do have a digital keypad, I guess, in the program with like the picture taking button, and so I just hover over that one and hit it with my mouse, and it takes the picture. But usually I can like hold that keypad right here and take a picture, or in my lap or something. So it's nice because I don't have to be like right next to my computer.
No, that's a lot of.
Sometimes if it's a really big project where maybe I have to be working on the ground, my computer's farther away, because otherwise it would be in the shot. Right. I have to like get up and like move farther to take the picture if I don't have the keypad with me. So
takes a lot of time.
It saves time.
Definitely. Our winner will be selected in 5 minutes, so keep those stories coming, keep your questions coming. We've got Becca for about another hour. Exactly, actually.
Oh, cool.
This is going really fast, I think. Time is flying. Amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a zen for me, like just get in the zone, play some Bon Iver.
Yes. Totally.
It's like peaceful. Or sometimes I just need Bon Iver to like calm my nerves during a shoot. So that's actually always my shoot music.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of funny.
So do you find yourself pretty nervous? Like there's a lot of stakes during the shoots?
For something like this where I'm doing it out of candy and it's like a pretty straightforward design just because we have to fit this within the time, or like a pretty straightforward like movement or whatever. I don't really get nervous for that because I've done it before and I'm like used to it. But if it's something new where it's like I have to move things a different way or shoot things a different way or using a new material that I'm not as familiar with, then I get nervous.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure everybody on set is like looking to you to be kind of the boss. Like, this is how this works. And if you've never used that material before, it's kind of like...
Yeah. I typically... I haven't traveled for shoots just because, I mean, at some point it would be fun, but I have a son who's going to be 2 in March, and so
Cute.
It's better and easier for me to do my shoots from my studio.
Oh, okay. So it's all just
so
you.
I'm not away as much, and my husband, and we have hired someone recently to help us with some post-production, so we're like sort of a little studio.
Yeah, that's awesome. Does your son ever like get his hands in the shoot? And you're like,
yeah,
no!
He tries to. Like, he's not really allowed in the studio, but sometimes he comes in, tries to get in the chair, and like, but I wouldn't let him in there if I were in the middle of a shoot because that's just too risky. He might bump the lights or the camera stand.
Yeah, that sounds scary.
Yeah.
Julia wants to know, did you go to school and what did you study?
I went to Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah, and I studied, I was in the creative track of the advertising program, and I did a graphic design minor.
Gotcha.
So, although I didn't end up staying in advertising, like professionally, it's like now I like sort of am because I create a lot of like ads, or like social ads or social videos.
Great.
But I work with a lot of ad agencies. Like usually my clients are ad agencies, like for an end client. Like I worked with Twitter's agency Niche to create a project for Nordstrom. So it's kind of like that.
I didn't know that Twitter had an agency.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Got their hands in all kinds of buckets.
Yeah.
So Shelly wants to know, do you have your own business now? So that's kind of the studio that you guys run together?
Yeah. We run our own business.
Awesome. Donna says, advertising agencies are fun places to work.
They are.
Busy.
They're busy, have fun atmospheres. And I really like that I had the experience at an ad agency because it helped me know, like, I guess, how ad agencies work and what people's roles are there and like, I guess, the language and thought process behind briefs and all of those things, creative briefs. Because now I work with those types of things a lot.
Nice. And you can kind of keep your head above water in those situations. You're like, I know what's going on here. Yeah. Somebody asked, how do you manage the actual business side of your work? The boring side.
I have an agent, Snyder, New York. And so they...
Jill too, right?
Yeah, cool. We're on the same roster. And Jill is actually my first lettering friend. We've been friends since like 2011. We lived near each other in Salt Lake.
Cool. I was thinking that you guys were pretty like buddy. I'm like, did they just meet? They're like best friends already. Cool. So if you don't know,
she's great.
Yeah, we're talking about Jill, who was
Jill
streaming. Jill DeHaan, who was streaming earlier from 11 to 1, I think was the time period. And if you missed that, then don't worry, we'll be streaming tomorrow and the next day. We're here pretty much every Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. You have lots of chances to win giveaways and contests. Yes, you can see the schedule here on the stream. So Becca is the last designer for the day.
Last one of the day.
Yes, but she will be back tomorrow. Yep. No worries. All of this will be repeating tomorrow and then on Thursday. But since you are the last designer, that means this is the last contest of the day. So make sure you get those submissions in before 4:30. You got 30 minutes left. Because if you don't, we'll have a different contest tomorrow and we won't be able to show them. So get those in. We do have our giveaway starting now. It is 4 o'clock. We do it 1 hour into the stream. So Adobe Live Team will be conjuring up a random name with Adobe Magic, and we'll have Becca read it. And that person will win the 3 posters that we chatted about earlier. Yes, they're Above Us, Mr. T, Jingwei's Pool Party, and Christine Heron's travel tags, all created here in the studio, and they will be on your wall soon if you win. Yes, people are saying saving the best for last. That's your stream.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah. This is really cool. We're always sitting over there behind the desk, so it's nice to kind of
Something different.
get out in the real world.
Are any of the challenges this week creating lettering out of something?
You know, they could be,
It would be fun.
but it's
Thursday?
oh, so we're announcing that. Yeah, a little sneak.
Look what I just did.
Oh, she got so excited that they're going to be making
I
lettering.
know. I hit my candy. Have to fix it. That happened when I was working with those tiny beads. Once.
Oh,
Like
no.
I had like tweezers. And I had like a tiny bead, and I was gonna place it, and it kind of flicked off and scattered a bunch of the other beads. And I was like,
Ah, what do you do?
I just had to redo it.
Yeah.
Like, what else can you do?
Life isn't fair, unfortunately. Ooh, we've got Adobe Live Team coming around the corner, coming around the river bend with a name. All right, this is the winner of the giveaway.
Lisa Irwin.
2 exclamation
Or
points.
Lissa.
Yes.
Lissa or Lisa. Tell
You-
us how to say it.
Oh, she just chatted in chat, so that's awesome. You're here. Congratulations, you have won the 3 beautiful posters, 11 by 17 tabloid size, super beautiful. So she just said, pick me. That's so funny. She said, pick me.
We
Shut up.
picked you. We picked you.
That's crazy. So congrats. Adobe Live Team will be in contact with you on your Behance messages, so make sure that you're looking for those. She says, I am so happy. Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, congratulations. We do a giveaway pretty much every stream, so if you didn't win this time, make sure you stick around and stay active. It's always nice to see people who are always around when they win. It's like, yeah, you deserve it. You won.
Do you guys have regulars? Like, they come in like every week?
Yes, totally. Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, we've got a lot of regulars, and I love chatting with them. Laura is here a lot. Dana's here. Mitch is here a lot. Paul's here a lot. Tiana's here. Let's see, Donna's here. A lot of friends. Somebody said I'm projecting. You mean my voice? Am I projecting loud enough? I hope so. Oh yeah, Ryan's here on the reg.
Can you find some nerds down in that
I
bag?
know I can. I love nerds. They're like my fave.
I don't like eating them. I feel like they're pointless.
What? That's because
Yeah.
you have to eat like 50.
I know. Hey, tell us your favorite candy. What's your favorite candy?
Yeah.
Did anyone answer that question
I
before?
don't know. I really like runts. I really like nerds. What do you like, chat? Uh-oh. Oh yeah, there's like 300 boxes of nerds. The rainbow kind.
Rainbow. I have to get all the colors.
Totally.
Do the rainbow.
All right, Esther's here. Awesome. Ooh, Daniel likes nerds too. Nice. Esther likes Mike and Ike's.
I got some. If you want, you can come over. Have some.
Come on over. Bill likes hot tamales.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, that's one of those that's like you either love it or you hate it. Blue jelly beans, very specific, Calliope.
We probably have some of those.
We got Pez. Pez are good. Sour Patch Kids, we have some of those, Tammy. We got those for you. Lemon Drops, we got those too for you, Eduardo.
We do have lemon drops. Okay, what else do I need? Oh. Gotta bring it in down here.
Bring it in. Oh my gosh, Tiana, yes, the Christmas pack of nerds, the cherry and watermelon flavor, I think it is. So good.
I think I like chocolatey candies better.
Ah,
But those are at more risk of melting. So
true.
did not bring any of those, and they're not very colorful, so not as fun.
There you go. Yeah, right. You could do like dark chocolate, milk
Yeah.
chocolate, white chocolate.
I've done some lettering with chocolate before. I think I ended up eating a lot of it.
Dangerous. Very
Very
dangerous.
dangerous.
All right. Shelly wants to know what your favorite candy to work with is and your least favorite.
Ugh. These are stuck together. I like working with all candy.
Just not the round ones?
Yeah, not the round ones because they roll off They won't stay in place, so I don't like working with those. Thank you for the reminder.
Yes.
My favorite ones to work with are the ones that taste the best, obviously.
Obviously. That makes sense. That makes sense. Daniel says he likes Ferrero Rocher. Those are good. In France, we have Dragabus.
Oh, sounds
Michelle
exotic.
knows about those.
Ragibus. Ragibus. How was my French?
What kind of flavor? Quel type? Never heard of that, but it sounds interesting. Sounds like it might have a dragon. Maybe. Oh, Daniel hates orange circus peanuts.
Yeah, they're the worst,
Yeah,
right?
that's not even candy.
They're like foamy.
Someone says, I would rather eat mothballs.
Well, I don't know. I'd probably eat circus peanuts over mothballs.
The edible one over the inedible one.
This Tic Tac color I forgot I had. I need to find more of those.
Donna says that Michael Shez has a great accent.
It's a great French accent.
He works really hard on it, Donna.
Yeah. Also, he's French.
Also might be French. Confirmed. Oh, my dad's here? Wait a second. Dad? Hello?
I love that.
Oh, my dad likes the banana runs. My dad shows up sometimes. Yeah, my dad is a bot. He's a robot.
Okay, I'm leaving some spaces for the highlights here, just because I don't know if I want to leave them blank yet or fill them in with white or yellow candies. So, just kind of leaving it blank for now. We'll make that decision later.
Awesome. And maybe before we start getting too much further, we can go look at some submissions so they don't pile up too much.
Okay.
There might be like 100 for us.
Meet us over at the other table.
At the clubhouse. After you. All right. So I don't have them open yet. So I don't know if my screen is showing. Okay, so I'll wait. So some of the ones that we have already looked at. Thank you, Francisco. And behind the scenes. So we do have about, I don't even know, is this mic on?
Your screen's on. Those mics are off. Give me a sec.
Okay.
No one
Your
can hear
screen
us.
is showing now.
We can say whatever we want.
Alright, your mics are on.
Awesome. So we're just going to open up a couple of these options,
But
but
the camera's not on, so we move back over to the table.
yes, we are at the table. I'm trying to just wait until my screen's not showing because I don't want to show our little secret spreadsheet.
Oh, shoot.
Hello! This is all in a day's work here on Adobe Live.
So your computer's on and the GH file is on. What did you need?
Just not my computer, so I can open up the links.
Gotcha.
Thanks for being patient with us, chat.
Okay, your screen's off.
Cool. It's all right. Thanks for being patient, chat. We got some
Looking at some options.
options to open up here. This is really fun to have kind of like a different setup this week, but it does offer a couple, I don't know, technical difficulties. But look at that. It's
And the
back.
camera's high now.
Yes. Now we have a better angle. This is a more flattering angle, I think. So you guys are really prolific and have so many submissions.
So many. So
Yeah.
are you guys who are submitting? You're just like designing while watching or listening? Is that how this is going?
Yeah, I would assume you could be getting the prompt and then maybe walking away and working on it. But yeah, I love hearing what people are doing during the day, like if they're taking a break from work, if they're freelancing and just like having this on in the background.
Yeah, how many of you are still at work? I guess if you're on the East Coast, you're probably not at work.
Yeah,
anymore.
probably not. I think Pacific. Might be like the
Probably.
only people still at work.
Maybe you're not even on here. Maybe you're out eating dinner.
Get off your phone. Come on. Yeah, you could just have it open on your computer at home. All right. So we can hop over to my computer now. Awesome. Thank you. Here is an A by Alexander. Really, really elegant and formal. Oh, cool. I like the process. This is by Chuck Phillips. Picture of a tea idea. So you captured it in Adobe Capture. Yes, that's a mobile app that I love and finished it. Ooh, this is really nice. Nice texture.
A Q.
A Q and an S.
The flourish inside of the Q looks a little like an S.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was intentional.
Right.
But
let us know. Really nice, simple O. Nice job. Ooh, I like this. I love the texture. This one is by Susan. Nice job, Susan. Looks like you really actually drew this by hand, which is awesome. Oh, here's the finished version of the
colored
bee.
version.
Very like peacock.
yeah.
Nice.
There's my color.
And if you're just tuning in, this is the contest that's running today. It is to create a letter in Photoshop or Illustrator on a white background. It could be multiple letters like it is here, or just one. And then we'll have our lettering masters, Becca in this case, pick a winner at the end of the stream. So you'll be picking in about 30, 40 minutes. Whoa. So this is an H.
Oh, I didn't
Cut
see
out
the
of her
letter in there.
face. Yeah.
Cool.
Interesting, Chandler.
H for Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, there you go. Cool, I like that. Nice colors. Got an M for Marshall. Nice job. Ooh, animated, kinetic O's. Nice job, Kristen. Ooh, Faith by Valerie Yee. I really like this. Like,
I had breakfast with Val this morning.
oh, nice. There you go. Eduardo did, the ampersand that we already saw. Nice.
But this time it's
on a white background. Eduardo, nice
Thanks,
pick up on
Eduardo.
that. An E for Edna. This is really pretty. I've seen a lot of like floral and flourishes. Really nice. I didn't know what to do, so I tried my hand at drawing a font.
Nice.
Nice, Mark. So you had some inspiration and kind of went for it. Nice practice. All right, a Q. Nice. I thought it was just an O, but there is a little detail.
Yeah, I thought it was an O too.
Nice job, Natasha. Cool. We saw this B from Miriam earlier.
We need it on a white background.
We do need it on a white background, Miriam. So if you're still here, feel free to update it. And then I think we've already seen these. Cool, so these are the most updated ones. We've got about 15 minutes until the contest is over for the day, so make sure you get those
Get going.
in. Yes, get those uploaded even before 15 minutes because you never know how long it'll take. I'll work on curating this list if you maybe want to go back over and get started again, and then I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right, thanks guys.
Since I'm not shooting yet, we can just leave the lights on now that we kind of figured out what we'll have to do when we start shooting. So to make things easier, we'll just leave the lights on while I finish laying this out. And turn them off when we shoot. Though now it's brighter, it's hard for me to see my overlay, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker. No, I can just make the overlay darker, it's okay. But I think for filming over there we need them off. I don't know, whatever. So I'm excited for you guys to come back on Thursday and make your submission that hasn't been announced yet, but I'm announcing it right now, for lettering out of food or some other objects. You can come back tomorrow too. I'll be on tomorrow. My necklace keeps twisting around.
I'm back.
Back.
Did you miss me?
Phew.
Phew.
This is getting so quiet.
All right, so we were missing the chat for a couple minutes. Maybe I can pick some questions back from there. So people are saying East Coast, work was canceled because of the cold weather.
What? How cold is it there?
Oh, cold. It's also, I know at least in Ohio where I'm from, it dumped like a foot of snow. Crazy.
Utah winter has been extremely mild. So.
I heard. Actually from one of our chat members, Mitch. He was saying it was like in the 40s.
Yeah, like hardly any snow. It's weird.
Man, do you like that or?
I mean, I don't mind it.
Okay.
I am not a huge skier,
Yeah.
so it's fine with me.
Yes, I feel the same way. Actually, when we went back to Ohio for Christmas, we went sledding, and I was like, I'm a child again. This is amazing. But that's about it for me. Oh, we've got a light.
Nice.
Cool. Yes, Jasmine says she wants some candy, but maybe she'll just eat some fruit.
It's good bacon.
Yes. Good way to go.
Do you guys have any questions for me about my process or stories?
Yeah.
Actually, I have another story
Regale us.
that for making something that was hard. So we did a large scale. It wasn't actually stop motion. It was like live action with lettering in it.
What?
So we made concrete letters. I designed the letters and then we made them out of concrete and we created molds for them. And we created an asphalt background on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So we had big 80-pound concrete letters, and then I was creating lettering out of sawdust for the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera was mounted pretty high, but it was like a bigger, I guess, area than I had worked with before. So trying to look at my computer for reference, I was under it because I was creating it, so I was blocking the screen and I couldn't see where I was creating in reference to my other letters. So it was very difficult to get my bearings on that one because I hadn't done anything as large scale as that before.
Yeah.
But I really want to do more large scale. It was really fun, and I had to kind of just stay on the side so I could still see what the camera was seeing and make sure I wasn't skewing upward
right.
on my lettering.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was a fun one.
Gotcha. So you found a way. Whoa.
Found a way.
You found a way to do it. You just
Yep.
had to kind of struggle through a little bit.
Yeah.
Stefan wants to know if you've ever used a substitute for food, like plastic food, just to make it more easy to work with? Or is it a secret?
I'm trying to think. Well, there's one time I should have, but I didn't know it was an option. So I was trying to do stop motion ice cream.
Oh no. They use mashed potatoes.
Yeah, or what is it? Crisco, or it's some shortening, but maybe dyed in a certain color.
Oof.
But I didn't know that at the time, so I was just trying to work really fast.
Yeah. What ended up happening?
But at that was one where I was doing it in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
So I created I tried to bring the ice cream in very last as it was like a prop. The lettering wasn't made out of ice cream, but I was kind of spinning the cups around as the lettering came in.
Mm-hmm.
And then so since I played it in reverse, and I didn't know how to do masking at this time yet, since I have learned, so I probably could have executed it differently. But at that time, playing it in reverse, it looked like the ice cream was moving around while growing.
Right, becoming ice cream.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Any substitutes? I'm trying to think. I've used fake flowers.
Oh.
I have used real flowers, but there's one time where I had to use some fake flowers, like vanilla bean flour type of thing.
Gotcha.
Just because flowers wilt pretty quickly, and this was like a prop that was like on the side for a while, so that worked out well. But I can't think of anything, so I guess I haven't used fake food, but if something looked realistic enough, I probably would, because that would make it easier for sure.
Right, and it might be more about the end result and less about like the
I should start
authenticity.
researching. I have used fake ice,
Ah,
because I have also done stop motion with real ice before, and it just disappeared.
yeah, that makes sense. Someone had a question. Oh, so when people ask you what you do for a living, do you have like a nutshell response?
Sort of. It depends on their background and what I know of their knowledge of the industry.
Totally, you have
So,
to kind of play to your audience.
If it's someone like who doesn't really know anything about typography or graphic design or lettering or whatever, I usually use the word calligraphy because that's something most people
Yeah.
recognize and understand.
Yep.
So it's like I say something like, well, I create calligraphy type of words out of physical objects.
Okay.
And so that's basically what I say.
Mm-hmm.
But often, if I mention stop motion video, people hear the word video because they don't understand stop motion maybe. And then
Yeah.
they think I'm a videographer.
Huh. Not the case.
Not the case.
Do people ever just like smile and they're like, cool, and you just know that they do not know what you're talking
And
about?
I just don't expound upon it at all.
Yeah, I've had a similar experience when talking about like live streaming. Like I do
Like,
this thing in front of other people, in front of a camera, make art, and they're like, can you see them? And I'm like, I can't see them. Or like I'll have people come in while I'm live streaming and they're like, can you see them? I can see you. And it's just like, that's not how it works.
It doesn't like that.
Bless your heart.
That's funny.
That is funny. Oh, Leanne is wondering, what do you do with the leftover foodstuffs or objects?
Sometimes eat it.
Yes.
Sometimes throw it away because, for example, I did a stop motion video using like roasted leg of lamb.
Oof.
I posted that one recently.
Yeah.
And it had been like sitting under lights for a while, and also may not have been cooked all the way because it was meant to look good but may not have reached the correct
Yeah.
temperature, you know?
Totally edible.
Yeah. So it's like stuff like that, throw away, or like the shrimp cups.
Shrimp cups.
Threw those right away.
Yeah.
And but like some things that will last, like if I'm ever using like produce, I'll usually keep it like berries or whatever. But other things like I like prepared foods, like I might share with like family or friends, like, oh, let's eat these cookies, you know. But I've been handling everything,
Yeah.
so I don't really want to like give them out to eat.
Yeah.
But I did a project for Red Vines a year or two ago, and they sent me, I worked directly with the brand, they shipped me 60 pounds of licorice.
What?
60 pounds.
How
And
many vines is that?
like, so many.
So many.
So I ended up using probably 10 pounds of it,
my
15 pounds, I don't
gosh.
know.
Yeah.
And so I had all this leftover licorice, and so I just like started giving it out to people
I'll
that
pay
had
you.
been unopened.
Yeah, right. This is actually a really good idea from Daniel. You could send the extra candy to potential clients or like people you're trying to get work from with a note on how to assemble like a specific word. Like, this is what you're gonna do. Here's your...
That's a fun idea.
Yeah. People would be like, either they would love it,
They
or
would
hate it.
they'd think it was like a fun idea, but then they'd just eat the candy.
Right, right. And they'd be like, who said this again? That was delicious. Bye, Aru.
That's a good idea though.
Yeah, really good idea. So we've got about 6 minutes left, chat, to get your contest submissions in. We will take a peek at them in a couple minutes, and someone will be winning a free year of Creative Cloud.
Woohoo!
Yes, amazing.
Best prize for last.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, you can win it during every stream, but best stream for last for sure.
Best stream for last.
So please continue to ask your questions, chat. We've got Becca here for about another 30 minutes. She'll be back tomorrow, though. No worries.
Okay. Oh yeah. I never use these runs.
Yeah, I was like,
start.
what did I get those out for?
I get in a mode and then just.
They are so tiny.
I know. I need tweezers for these ones.
Oh man.
I actually brought some. They weren't my special long tweezers, but they are just normal
Ah.
tweezers. But like for the runts, I mean for the nerds, I like to fit them in like the little edges
Gotcha.
to make the edges of the letters just look smoother.
Definitely.
So that's something I usually do for the end, but I'll just show you guys a little bit. Fill in the holes. So I like to have, it totally depends on the material because sometimes it lends itself to this and sometimes not, but I like to have an option of like varying sizes so that I can show like varying widths of like different weights of the parts of the letters or varying widths, things like that, just because it makes it visually nice and more interesting and
Yeah.
more refined.
Right. It's like using different sizes of brushes when you're doing an illustration. You know. Everybody's freaking out about the nerds.
Are they?
Yes.
Why?
Just because they're so good.
Oh. Silly.
Yeah. Anna says, wow, nerds take patience.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great question from Julia Sams asking, do you still do projects for fun?
Yes.
Yes.
I have been, lately my 4 fun projects have been like mixing or either like lettering animation, like vector lettering. I'm trying to learn in After Effects how to animate things using like trim paths and motion paths and stuff.
Right.
Because I want to be able to have that skill set and also to incorporate that type of thing into these physical object lettering works, which is what I'll be doing on this project at the end. So I've been doing some personal projects in that realm, but in the past I often do personal projects like for the holidays.
Oh.
Like Valentine's Day is coming up, and it's sort of my personal tradition to do like some sort of candy project for, you guys must think I use candy all the time.
Candy
So
for this,
to
candy
do
for
some
that.
candy project for Valentine's Day as like a candygram.
Oh, a candygram.
Last year I glued 1,800 pieces of Starburst together.
The big love.
Yeah,
thing?
and did
Yes.
like, it was like a freestanding sculpture
Yes.
of Starburst. And then we filmed it doing some live action and some stop motion, so it looked like it was like spinning around on its own. But it wasn't like attached to the table or to anything. It was just like I could lift it, and it was just glue gunned together.
Oh, okay.
So.
But it was glued, so that's good.
Yeah, it was glued, because otherwise it wouldn't have been able to stand on its own
No.
or to move.
No, not at all. So Tiana wants to know, how much glue did you use? How many glue gun
Oh.
sticks?
I should have counted, but I didn't.
An innumerable.
Next time
amount.
I do it, I'll count. So that one was fun because I had never done that sculpture type of thing, and I still have that in my studio now. Most of my stuff is so temporary, which I sort of love about my work, but it's also really nice to have something tangible as well. So I like that I still have the Starburst Love in my studio as like a, oh, I actually made this and it's still here. But so that concrete letters of joy that it said the word joy I was telling you guys about.
Right,
I
right.
wanted to keep them and to like, or to give them away or something, because I thought people might like them.
Yeah.
But my husband took them to the dump before I could give them away. And
Husband.
he just chucked them in. So
Dare.
love him, but I really wanted those concrete letters.
Oh man.
It's okay though.
It's a labor of love.
We just have to make some more concrete letters.
Yeah, that makes sense. Daniel wants to do a contest for you to guess how many candy pieces were used.
Oh, that's a good idea. My mom actually did a game like that for Christmas, but guessing in the jar how much candy's in it.
Yeah, totally. I bet you could screenshot this right now.
I
Just
know.
count.
Then you can count, but I'll be
Yes.
adding more, including little nerds, which might be hard to count. But maybe for the end, I'll count them all and then, I don't know, do something about that.
Awesome. So I might leave you be again to go look at
Okay.
the rest of the contest entries.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll get them all open, and then at some point we'll go over there and watch. But maybe we'll give them. What? Oh, okay. Adobe Live Team will open them. So that's great. Never
Thanks,
mind.
Adobe Live Team.
Thank you, GusBot 3000.
GusBot.
We have a nice little robot butler that bustles around the studio. GusBot.
Does he like that nickname?
I don't know. Does he like that nickname? GusBot is indifferent. So we see that Faison has his submission in. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for submitting to the contest.
Who's up the latest? I want to know.
Ooh.
Are you guys up late wherever you are?
Yeah, during Jill's stream, someone was up at 3 a.m. and they're like, I
Oh.
can't go to bed. It's like, yes, you can. But thank you for sticking around. Robert's going to bed. Robert, what time is it?
Where are you, Robert?
Robert, where are you? Robert. For Kevin, it is 1:30 a.m.
Where are you, Kevin? Tell us where you are.
Oh, Cannon says their 4-year-old is named Gus.
Oh,
That's awesome. It's a good name.
it is.
Good, strong name. Let's see, 3:30 in Moscow in the morning. So nice, Calliope.
Хорошо.
Oh,
It's like the only Russian word I know.
what does it mean?
Good.
Good. Very good. 2 a.m. in France. 2:30 in the Ukraine. That's awesome. Wisconsin, only 6:30 p.m. Perfect timing.
Staying up late.
Staying up real late. So, how does your camera not catch your hand when you place things?
It's not filming right now. It's just live so that I can see. I'm going to start, I actually don't ever film when I do stuff like this. It's stop motion, which means taking photos. They're all still photos pulled together. They create a video.
Yeah.
So right now I'm not taking any pictures. I'm just using my camera connected to my computer so I can see what my computer is seeing and lay everything out right, and then I'll start shooting. So you can see my camera, you can see my hand in the live view of the camera.
Oh, and someone was asking earlier, are you going to put in the white highlight candies? Or is that done
That's
in
what I'm trying
post?
to determine.
Gotcha.
I'm leaving them blank because I want to see how it looks with the shadows, if you can tell that it's like a white highlight. Although I filled it in right here with yellow. But I feel like it doesn't stand out enough with yellow, so I probably prefer to not. This is when tweezers come in handy.
Oh man, you tiny little fingers. Or tweezers.
So I'll take that out.
Oh, this is a good question from Julia. She missed the beginning, so she's wondering, how did you design the overlay? Just the vector, the illustration that you did.
So I typically, until very recently, I have just used like pencil and paper, and scanned it in or taken a picture, pulled it into Photoshop to adjust the levels and things like that. I recently got an iPad Pro, and that has been like brilliant for working on sketches for me because that's usually that's like the only thing I use the iPad Pro for so far.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Then I don't have to carry around tracing paper and all my pens all the time and lots of sketchbooks. So, and then I opened it up in Photoshop and like adjusted some things. And then I opened it up in Illustrator and vectorized part of it, which you'll see later on. The vectorized part is not on there right now.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, people are saying it's the day of the iPad Pro because we've been talking about them all day.
I know.
Pretty much.
I think lots of lettering artists use them, so
Yeah.
they're handy when you don't want to carry around a ton of tracing paper and
Yeah. Right, especially with like Adobe Illustrator Draw and Capture, you can take your drawing straight into Illustrator as vectorized like live shapes.
Awesome. I should try that. I haven't tried that.
You can send it straight to your desktop.
Yeah.
Pretty handy. Mitch needs to convince his wife that he needs an iPad Pro.
Mitch's
need it.
wife, he needs it.
Yes, everybody say it in chat. He can take screenshots and convince his wife. Alexander is wondering, what has been the most complicated project for you?
All of these absolutes are hard to answer,
Yeah,
but
what is the actual hardest?
like the actual hardest. I don't know what the actual hardest is, but a recent hardest was a project where let's see, trying to think and talk at the same time. So I had to, let's see, was that a hardest one? I need to look at my examples.
No one's gonna know
I
if
know.
you're lying or not.
It's true, it's true. Let's see. Okay, go for it. So, I mean, the concrete one I mentioned was hard in that it was hard to see the scale of everything. But another one I recently worked on was hard because it was like a longer animation and one scene led into another scene. So I had to do everything backwards. If I do the lettering backwards, like I did like the rest of it backwards. And so I had to sometimes it's hard to think backwards because you're like, wait, so I have to move it like this and like this. And then you're like, wait, no, that won't work. It's like hard to, I have to really visualize it and make sure it will work. So that one I was adding digital lettering, I think for the first time. And that kept going wrong, I guess. The editing process just took a really long time. It was just I guess kind of drawn out and a difficult process with the client. So it was difficult just that it just kept dragging on and lots of deliverables were required. But I guess that wasn't totally the execution of it was the hardest. I feel like I've mentioned some of the hardest ones. The lentils one was pretty hard physically just because it was hurting my back a lot. Oh, the concrete one was also really hard physically because I was kneeling on this asphalt.
Oh, yeah.
Trying, I had knee pads on because I didn't want to, it was sort of newly smashed, or whatever it's called, asphalt. So it was still a little bit sticky. And so I had knee pads on so that my pants didn't get all stuff all over them.
Right.
But I had to, be leaning forward to place my stuff, and so my hand kept getting gravel imprints on the hand. So some of the projects can be a lot more physical than others. This one is pretty mild physically because I can sit in a chair and work on it, but I don't know, it's kind of fun to look back and think I went through that hard work, it felt and made something really cool and fun, so it was kind of worth it.
Yeah.
Kind of like having a baby,
Totally. A candy baby.
Candy baby.
Julia has another great question. It's what do you use as inspiration? Do you have any blogs or books or specific artists that you always turn to?
I use Instagram a lot to I guess stay up with trends and what people are working on, but I also recently did a minor purge of following people on Instagram because I felt I was spending too much time on it.
Gotcha.
But I still I feel I could purge a little more. I didn't purge way down, but I think I dropped maybe 100 followers, which felt kind of nice.
Right. So you just felt you were seeing stuff you didn't really care about,
or I just I felt I had to keep looking, or I missed this stuff, I don't want to miss out. But if I'm not following them, I don't feel I have to look through as much,
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I use Instagram a lot as inspiration. I if there's something that I really I save it, and if I'm trying to make a certain style, I might reference the things I've saved. How would I do this particular word, this P or whatever. I Google letters a lot, like, black letter W or, something like that. I guess like the internet a lot, but I've loved using like Louise Feely's books in the past for like style inspiration. And I don't really look at blogs anymore. I feel like that I used to a lot. Like when I first discovered lettering, I think it was like probably Jessica Hish's work on like design blogs.
Right.
And so I think that was like a huge thing for me of like being inspired in the past, was design blogs. But now I feel like Instagram has sort of taken the place of design blogs for me.
Yeah, I think that might be similar for a lot of people. And also a lot of people say that they saw Jessica Hish's work or like Daily Drop Cap, and it's like that really got them started and lit their fire within.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. There's kind of like a common theme.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe in like 5 minutes we'll go over and pick a winner and kind of close things out, because I'm
Wrap
sure we have
things
a
up.
lot to look at.
Okay.
Just giving you a heads up, Adobe Live team.
We're getting
We're coming in 5 minutes.
and we're making headway here with this wordplay.
Yeah, right?
Haven't added any of my flourishes yet, but I'll loosely add some flourishes here. Trying to think of other hard projects.
Probably all of them are pretty hard, I would guess.
They're all hard in like some way, but some I get through and I'm like, oh, that one was like kind of easy.
Mm-hmm.
It went smoothly.
Has there ever been a project that has just turned out like way better than you thought it would? All of them.
I'm so good at all of them, just way better. No. I don't know. I feel like I often, my favorite part is when the video like comes together, or not even like the edited video, but like in Dragonframe I can loop the frames.
Right.
There are only 3, but I'll take a picture right now to kind of show you. Maybe I'll take a few.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to see.
So now I have like 5 pictures here, so I can kind of loop it.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow, as I start doing like the animation portion of it, I can play back the thing, and like seeing it all come together is like, oh yeah, this is like working, it's worth it, like it's gonna come together and turn into something really cool. Whereas like I feel like my stuff is kind of like piece by piece, and you see like part of it at a time, and it's like, well, what's the final like finished thing gonna be?
Yeah.
And so it's always exciting to see it like actually come together.
Yeah. It's definitely not instant gratification, which is hard for people these days. So that's cool. Rodney is saying that the white areas, the shine, is actually looking really good through the stream.
Good.
So I hope it works out in the end.
I guess I covered up the ones on the P and some of the others, so I'll have to go back and pick those out. Like right here, I'm covered it up too.
Ah, interesting. Joey's saying, what if there's an earthquake? Oh, this is all done.
It'd all be messed up. I'd do some drawing demos.
Yeah, for the next couple of days. Jasmine says, I'm not a big candy eater, so I never thought that looking at candy for so long would make you crave it. It's enticing.
Are you craving it now, Jasmine?
Yes. Dun dun dun. Got enticed by the siren song, the sugary siren song. Oh man, let us know, chat, if you have an object that you would like to make lettering out of. Like what sounds really interesting? I'm trying to think of what I would want to do.
Yeah. The first thing I ever did was, and I was thinking of this during the last stream when you guys were talking about spicy peppers and salsa, because that was the first thing I ever did lettering out of. It was stuff from my garden.
Oh, cool.
And it was kind of like on a whim. I was going to make salsa out of it, and laid it all on the table to like get it going. I was like, I'll just make the word fresh out of this here.
Yeah.
And then I fell in love with it after that. So salsa got me started on doing food lettering.
That's awesome. I didn't know that little tidbit. It's It's cool. Julia says kids' toys might be fun because they're all different colors and sizes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, things that aren't all, it doesn't have to be like rainbow colored to like be fun and cool, but it does make people happy when things are rainbow colored.
So maybe we have about 10 minutes to look through all the submissions, pick a winner, and then close out. So we might have to
Do
head
I need to
over.
move right now?
Maybe place like one more thing if you want.
Okay,
If
thanks.
you really want. And then we will travel back over. Tiana says homemade salsa is the best.
It is. I love it.
Especially if it marinates for long enough.
I know. The day after, it always tastes better.
Yes.
Okay, let's go over.
On we go. Oh, don't knock anything over. And we're back. So I believe that Adobe Live Team opened up all of our new submissions.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, GusBot.
This one looks like a lino cut.
Nice. What's up? Oh, yeah, cool. No worries. But yes, it does look like a lino cut. I like that. It's like definitely looks handmade, but it was made digitally. So nice. Effect Joey. Whoa.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What does this say? Super Ola High Perfect. That sounds really familiar. What is that from? Anybody know?
I don't recognize it.
But it's cool. Nice job. Ooh, vulgar. Pretty vulgar. Nice. Good job. Oh, there we are.
My hair's looking weird from one angle. I have to like sit like this.
Hair's looking weird every day. Deet, deet. So we got the bee with these cute little flourishes. I like this like bluish, purplish.
It looks juicy.
It's super juicy. Juicy to the max. Ooh, this is not juicy, but I like it.
F.
It's like the opposite. Very light and airy. Nice job, Samantha. Cool. So this is 2 by Faizan. I'll have to go through these a little quicker. This one's
that's a
really
cute
nice.
H.
Yeah, nice job, Jackie. The cool P. Looks like a Superman cape.
It's true.
This is a nice little set of letters by Julie. Nice job. I really like this bee. Oh, pretty birds.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Peaceful color scheme.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're back to the.
And then,
Oh,
we
no.
saw this one.
But we didn't see that one.
No, we did not see this one by Tion. Nice tilt. Cool. Ooh.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So they submitted the F earlier, and then they kind of finished out their stuff, so that's awesome. Ooh, sneaky snake. It's awesome. I like that. 3D. Really pretty D. A T? Oh, no, a J. Nice. Maybe for jungle. And then Soren did another F. Awesome. Nice job, Soren. So we're going to go quickly through these, and we'll have to make a decision pretty quick. So just let me know what your heart
What's
is
my heart
singing.
telling me?
Yes. That H was really nice. This one's cool too.
We didn't see that cross stitch one. I
Oh,
don't
nice. By Sarah. Cute. All right, any thoughts? Anything that really sticks out to you?
Think. I feel like did we go back and see all of this is overall for the whole
Right.
time,
I curated the list down a little bit so that
Oh.
you wouldn't have like literally 100 to pick from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really like this H by Jackie Rivera. It looks
Okay.
yeah, really nice. And my other favorite is Jasmine's.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Cool.
The first one she sent was like the process
Yeah.
and then the outline of the bee.
Yeah.
I loved the layout of the first one, just seeing them all lined up. I
Yeah.
think you closed that window.
Right, right.
But yeah, with color, it's really nice too.
Cool.
But I liked the layout of the first one better, just seeing them all next to each other.
I see, I see. Cool. So
And
these
yeah,
are
there were a
two
lot
top.
of really cool ones.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I decide
It's
between two? Those
really
ones are
tough.
my favorite.
Yes.
What do you guys think? Can we ask them?
Yeah, chat. Do you like the H
The H or the
or the
B?
B? And while you're deciding, maybe we can just chat a little bit about what you did today, start to finish, and what you might be doing tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I need to go back to my computer because I was supposed to. I didn't take any photos, but I wanted to like open one up in After Effects. Should I start that?
Oh, we only have like 5 minutes
Tomorrow?
left.
Okay. So tomorrow I am going to start shooting and moving things to do the stop motion, and then import the photos into After Effects, and then I'll start working on like maybe the time remapping or if I need to mask anything by chance or whatever. But I think that part of the post-production should be pretty straightforward, and then depending on if I have any time left after doing the stop motion, I'll start getting into some of the vector part that I'm adding into that. So if I don't get to that tomorrow, I'll get to it on Thursday, and then we'll kind of finish up. So
Cool, that sounds great. And today you really kind of started from your sketch and got the candy going, Candy Mountain, Candy Rush. I think people are saying B, but that's what I'm picking up from chat. So what do you think?
I love the like really soft color scheme of this page.
Yeah, it's really nice. And don't worry, these people can always, Jackie and Jasmine can always submit to other contests and they could win another time because they're obviously very skilled.
I'm going to go with the H.
Alrighty, we've got the H by Jackie Rivera. It's really hard to decide, right?
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings
Oh,
either.
yeah.
I loved all of the submissions. I'm so glad you guys submitted.
Yes, you're all really skilled and talented, and thank you for being brave and submitting.
And for experimenting.
Yeah, right? That's really cool. So you all did a wonderful job. There were hundreds of submissions. Jackie, you are the winner of the last stream of the day, so congratulations. You've won a free year of Creative Cloud. Adobe Live Team will be in contact with you. I just saw my mom in chat. Hi, Mom. How you doing? Yeah. So if you have any more questions for Becca, please feel free to hold on to them until tomorrow. You could also Instagram her or get in contact with her another way, and we will see you tomorrow. So thanks for being here. Yes, congratulations, Jackie.
Come watch the stop motion tomorrow.
Yes, come back tomorrow, 9 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. See you.
Bye.